Welcome to the video. Hey everyone, welcome back to Whispers in the Dark. Tonight, we're diving into a chilling paranormal tale that will keep you on the edge of your seat. If you're a fan of supernatural horror and love spine-tingling stories, you're in the right place. Stick around to hear the terrifying account of The Room Beyond the Veil. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss our next frightful tale. Let's dive in. The story: the beginning. Lucy Harris had just moved into a quaint Victorian house on the outskirts of town. It was the perfect fixer-upper, a two-story home with bay windows, a wraparound porch, and a mysterious locked door on the second floor. The realtor had mentioned the door briefly, saying it had been sealed shut decades ago and was better left undisturbed. But Lucy was curious by nature. A freelance journalist by trade, she saw the house's secrets as a potential story waiting to be uncovered. As Lucy unpacked her belongings, she noticed strange things right away. The floorboards creaked at odd hours, shadows moved where they shouldn't, and the air in certain parts of the house felt unnervingly cold. That night, she heard it for the first time. A faint scratching sound coming from the locked door upstairs. The mystery deepens. Determined to solve the mystery, Lucy examined the door the next morning. Its wood was old and cracked, with ornate carvings of twisted vines and eyes that seemed to watch her. She called a locksmith, but when he arrived, he refused to touch the door. "This isn't just a lock," he said, backing away. "It's a barrier. Leave it alone, miss." Lucy didn't listen. She found a crowbar and pried the door open herself. It revealed a small, dimly lit room covered in dust and cobwebs. The air was thick, almost suffocating. In the center of the room stood an antique mirror, its surface warped and cloudy. As Lucy approached, her reflection in the mirror didn't quite match her movements. She reached out to touch the glass, and the reflection smiled, a moment too late. The paranormal unfolds from that moment on. The house grew darker, both figuratively and literally. Lights flickered incessantly. The scratching noises became louder and more frequent. Lucy began waking up with strange bruises on her arms and legs. One night, she dreamt of a woman in a flowing black dress standing in the mirror room. The woman's face was obscured, but her voice was clear. "Why did you open the door?" Lucy jolted awake, drenched in sweat. She decided to research the house's history and found out that the previous owner, Margaret Greaves, had been a recluse accused of witchcraft. Margaret was said to have vanished without a trace. Her last known location was that very house. Lucy's determination to uncover the truth turned into desperation. She began filming the events, hoping to document the strange occurrences and make sense of them. The veil lifts one evening. As she reviewed the footage, Lucy noticed something chilling. In the background of one video, the mirror room door was ajar, though she knew she had shut it. A shadowy figure appeared briefly before the door slammed shut on its own. Summoning her courage, Lucy decided to confront the mirror. Armed with a flashlight and her phone camera, she entered the room. The air was icy cold. The mirror's surface rippled like water. As Lucy approached, her reflection stepped out of sync again, but this time, it didn't return to normal. Instead, her reflection spoke. "You shouldn't be here." The glass shattered, and Lucy was thrown backward. When she regained consciousness, the mirror was whole again, but she was no longer in her house. The room was the same, yet different. Everything was dimly lit, and the air felt heavy with dread. She realized she was trapped inside the mirror's world. The final revelation: Lucy's captor revealed herself to be Margaret Greaves. "You released me, and now I will take your place." Margaret stepped out of the mirror and into Lucy's world, leaving Lucy trapped behind the glass. Desperate, Lucy banged on the mirror, screaming for help, but Margaret only smirked and left the room. Days turned into weeks. Lucy's voice grew hoarse from screaming. She could see the outside world through the mirror's foggy surface, but couldn't interact with it. Then, one day, another tenant moved into the house. As they explored, Lucy watched helplessly, realizing that the cycle would repeat. Margaret, now free, lived as Lucy in the outside world, while Lucy remained a ghostly prisoner, another soul claimed by the room beyond the veil.